Hi guys, welcome to Pierce and Pretty. Honey here. So bit of a warning here in the beginning of the video. This will definitely be a long, rambly, weird video. But on the other hand, it's something that I've been thinking about for a long time. I've been trying to find the words to speak about all these things. So if you have patience, probably a glass of wine, let's see what I have to say about my practice and how it has been evolving so far and how I feel it moving forward. Why am I sitting next to my cupboard? Actually, his name is John. He has his own name and he's a brand new family member and the hubby named him so. But the metaphor of this cupboard, or more about a closet, fits perfectly for today's video, because my plan is actually to open my closet door for you guys and let you in a bit more about those things that I have yet to share in this channel. So the main thing for me about my practice is that it has been an unasked, surprising event happening in my life as a total when it all started. And how I viewed myself was, at the beginning I started with getting to know about meditation and manifestation techniques and so on. And after that I discovered tarot. And for me, I approached tarot first as a technical tool. I wanted to learn, the card meanings and everything. Like, technically, I saw it as anything else that you could do. So first I just thought that it was a new skill that I was learning. And then the deeper I got into tarot, I got to learn about other stuff. I started to learn about, well, the other tarot systems, but on top of that, astrology, Kabbalah, so many new things. And I was so fascinated, but still I would see me as kind of an outsider on looking at things and studying things. And first I didn't see any, connection between some of these things that I started to learn and immerse myself into. But the longer I did things, the more I learned. I started to notice how things are linked. And I started to see glimpses of the bigger picture. Then at some point I got really interested about shamanism, my Nordic roots, runes, the Norse mythology, and that felt like coming home in a way, and that has become a big surprising part. Also, I don't know a better word than practice, I don't know, it just sounds irrational, but I don't know what else to call this. But all these things, if I'm studying about Odin or the other Norse gods, or I'm studying astrology, or I'm studying tarot, whatever, somehow at some point they all connect. And what I started to kind of form my idea around all this was that it's kind of all we're working with energies and the topic of energy work, and how all these things were linked. And I've been watching a lot of tarot tube, and also some of the channels are also talking about tarot and witchcraft, and then there are witchy channels. And I never identified myself in any means whatsoever as the word witch. But the more I started to think about things that I do in my life, I started to understand that these are like really witchy things to do. And to me, that realization was such a surprise. I didn't know what to do with the idea first, and I turned to a dear friend and asked her some advice on, because she is a witch, and I wanted to talk and reflect and see that, am I just going crazy, or is this what my path is kind of distilling into and developing to? I still, by no means can I call myself a witch. I don't know what to call myself. The best word I've ever found is a seeker, and that's something that I can identify with. But for some reason now it feels that magic and witchcraft is kind of a perfect umbrella term to describe and combine all these things that I'm doing. Because for me, things have happened kind of without thinking them or planning them beforehand, and I just normally just found myself doing something and realizing, okay, I guess we're doing this now. But I started to acquire so many weird things by that I hadn't been using before, and I found myself being interested in topics that I never would. And well, I'm just trying to list these new things here that I find myself doing. They are involving herbs. I've collected things to work with. I got my mortar and my pestle. I bought these jars and labels for my herbs. I have been writing down different type of recipes. I've been doing, for example, an herbal salt. This actually reminds me of Lennan's quite recent video talking about, was it like mundane rituals or something, everyday witchcraft that she does. And I just found myself doing this little dish of salt, and it has some dried herbs in it. It has lavender, rose, orange peels, and rose salt, and it's all in this cast iron bowl that I have actually had, I don't know, over 10 years now. But I put the salt in here and put it on top of John, because John is sitting in our living room, and since he moved here, the whole vibe has been a lot more positive and intense and in a good way. So I thought that putting this salt with these beautiful herbs in it on top of him there, that it could keep the energy fresh, soak in the negative energy. Then when after Christmas I was cleaning my house, I was first cleaning it with intentions, and then I was smudging and cleansing, and I started to think about this when I was watching Lennan's video that I just mentioned. I'll link it down below. But I started to realize that I'm doing all these things. I'm not just labeling them while I'm doing them. I'm just doing them, and the family is like, okay, you're doing something weird again. But that's about it. They accept it. But that kind of, these small things that I do started to paint in the bigger picture. And then kind of suddenly I saw my bookshelf getting filled with new type of books, like witchy books, different types of witchy books. I started to get into studying herbs and plants. And once again, I first started to approach things from a really technical, detailed point. I first thought that it would be cool to learn how to make my own incense. So my first initial motivation is kind of really scientific. No, it's not the word to put here, but my approach is I first think of that thing as a technical thing, and later on I find myself doing something magical with it. And so doing this, my own incense, and acquiring new tools have all been kind of synchronistic events happening one after the other. And I guess I've been struggling to talk about this because I still even personally feel a bit weird about all this. I don't know what terms to use, but still I wanted to share this because I want to be able to share these new practices and new things that I do here on my channel. So that's kind of the point of this video, to be working as an introduction of my new developments. The thing that I consulted my witchy friend was this wand. I've actually made this months ago without even really thinking about. I found this stick when I was in the forest one day, and I carved it and put a bind rune on it and made a handle in it, and it's just been sitting on my altar. But I haven't been thinking about it a lot. And when I showed my tools to her, she just said that it is a wand. And I was like, well, I guess it is. But I never thought of it being a wand when I made it. I know this must sound weird and silly, but that's just the way it is. That's how I am always. I'm saying things as they are. We Finns are not good at small talk in any way. So whatever I say, it is like blunt and honest. Then one thing I've been doing quite a lot in these past 6 months or so is been doing some ancestral working, getting to know my history, my past, doing DNA tests, whatever, and doing genealogy, talking with my parents, going into all that. And today, actually, this morning, I was watching Anna's video. I will link that also down below. It was something about ancestry. And the thing that she said about us becoming ancestors also one day is kind of a key idea behind this and what this is. I think witches would call it a grimoire, and I'm still just calling it my book. I don't know what to call it, but it's just my book. And because I'm a Finn, and most of the material that I get to read is in English. So I wanted to start to compile all the knowledge I've gathered and also the practical things that I do. Write down recipes and things like that. Write them down in case, because I have a daughter. Who knows? Maybe one day she will want to learn this, or maybe one day when I'm dead, one of her possible children or their children might want to get to learn witchy stuff and get to know all these magical occult things that their old grandma used to do. And for that reason, I wanted to start my book. So far we were just concentrating on the herbs that I am starting to grow. I'm planning on my own little garden, so I'm starting the preparations for spring, how to plant these, how to use these, get all the magical correspondences, and start writing my knowledge and experiences into my book. And I did a little custom job on the book, and it's a beautiful Italian leather book that I ordered from Etsy. I can link that shop down below because I love the book so much, and I started to do some customization work on it. And I also got this little recipe notebook where I could scribble my recipes first, try them, and then reflect on how they worked out, how they turned out to be. And after that, when they are finalized with the results, I can write them into my book. So small things like that. I've started to work more with crystals, making my own jewelry to me and the whole family actually. And I started to actually incorporate the things more that in the past I've mostly studied about those things, but now I find myself doing these things more and really just making things happen. And this creative burst has been so new, so surprising, so not me. I'm feeling like I'm walking in a new territory, but it feels good. And when it comes to creativity and immersing myself all these creative tasks, I just have to show you my daily draw from this morning, the cards I got. And the first card was 3 of Wands, and I was again using my Shimmering Veil Tarot. And this card has been stalking me a lot. And this morning it was combined with the Queen of Cups. And this 3 of Wands energy is something that I'm currently feeling a lot, and it feels really present in every day. I've also started to study about the use of candles, about candle magic and other things like that, and been collecting things. And even one thing I did, because I thought that it might be a perfect time to get it, was to get my own cauldron. And mine is actually an old Finnish cauldron that I got. It was used, and I'm gonna show you guys when it arrives. I'm gonna make a little video on how to do a freshening up, how to take care of a cast iron pot or a cast iron cauldron if they are old and a bit damaged. So that's a video that's gonna be coming. But I think that overall there will be more videos around other topics also than tarot, because my channel has always been about my path. As I've said many times, I am no teacher, I'm just a seeker, and I'm not trying to be anything else. I'm just me, and I'm just sharing because I love having you guys with me. You are the support net that I have online, and you are the people that are helping me grow and stay sane during these transformation in my life, because all this can be sometimes a bit confusing to a girl like me, who thought that, who knew all about who she was 5 years ago, and little did I know. And I can't wait to see how I am 20 years from now, where this all leads and how things evolve. But today I've opened my closet doors for you guys, so you can see a bit where things are going. And me and John, we wish you guys that you enjoy the ride. Let me know in the comment box how this feels. Maybe this wasn't a big announcement for you guys to hear. Maybe for everybody else this was totally normal, but for me this was a big step. And I'm grateful to have you guys there, and special thanks this time to Lennan and Anna about inspiring me to actually film this video, because as I said, I have been struggling to find the words how to put this for a long time. Until next time, bye guys.